Alright, welcome back to Crypto Front. This is the front line where we are fighting together side by side for financial freedom. There is a very important issue that we want to discuss in today's video. Everything else is going, the JASMY price is not moving yet, and this is triggering a lot of people to ask the question, is JASMY a dead project right at this point? Does it actually make sense to invest money or to keep my money into the JASMY price? Because also a lot of people are saying, you know what, the whole thing is just going to break down towards the downside and probably go to zero, right? So let me begin trying to answer all those questions by going back as far as more than 2 years ago. I made a JASMY video, and look at this title, right? And the thumbnail, it was saying, is JASMY a dead project? Now, the reason why I decided to make a video like this one is because the sentiment back then was also like it is right at this point. Please understand that whenever the price action is not doing well, people are panicking. They're really worried about what is going to be happening next with the JASMY price. So in this video, if you go ahead and watch that video, you realize that everything that I'm talking about these days, when I say, look, JASMY is ready to push towards the upside, is the same thing that I was saying back then. Look, even back then, I was still giving the example of Cardano, saying that, look, even Cardano itself, at some point, it managed to crash 99%, but still managed to recover and go all the way up to have a fantastic bull run of something like 140x. And this is the Cardano chart that I show you, comparing it to what the JASMY price is done. And you can see already, if we try to move that Cardano structure on top, for 2 straight years, we have been following right into that. I may not have been right about everything that I talk about on the JASMY price, meaning like day-to-day price action of JASMY. But take a look at how we have gotten it right, like those 2 years that we have been talking about. When we were talking about that with the JASMY price, we hadn't even done like a quarter of this whole thing. So for 1,000 and maybe 120 days right now, we've been following into this structure. And still, my question is that, oh, well, like, is JASMY only going to be failing right here? I don't think so. I definitely still think that this moment for the JASMY price that is going to be coming, and it's actually going to be coming very soon than a lot of people realize. Now, this is my own opinion, right? A lot of people invested in JASMY because probably of the fundamentals and a whole bunch of different other things. For me, if you go ahead and watch that video that I made 2 years ago, the decision to get into the JASMY price was not because, you know, they are great fundamentals or something like that. I'm somebody who looks at charts, and what I understand the best is a chart that has got potential. Now, was I wrong about the JASMY price? Definitely not, because from the bottom right there that we were making back in 2022, up until the peak that we made in March, JASMY had risen a 15x. Even up until this point, right? I don't want to say it, but I'm still very much profitable in JASMY because JASMY is still up 730%, right? This is great for me. Obviously, for somebody who bought maybe JASMY right around March earlier this year, yeah, the feeling is very different altogether. But I just wanted you to know that this JASMY journey has not been an easy one, and we never anticipated to be an easy one. Please go ahead and watch that video that I made 2 years ago. I even mentioned it, that for us to get the 100x that we want here for the JASMY price, that is going to be painful and stuff like that. And pain means what? When we were right here breaking the main resistance for the JASMY price, that, you know what came out? This is the same day that Binance decided to put JASMY into the, at that point, it was called the monitoring zone. Still at that point, me and a few other people who were here held their JASMY to the very bottom, and from there, we still managed to go up really, really well. So again, for somebody who is worried that, you know what, JASMY being in the innovation zone right at this point is something that is going to be hindering the price. Well, explain to me how the JASMY price that found a bottom right there and still managed to pump here at least 14x. Right, in the last mini run that we had from October up until March earlier this year. So yeah, when these things are being said that, you know what, JASMY is not going to go anywhere, it's going to be delisted on this and this exchange and stuff like that, it hits very different, and I understand that, especially if you're in a bull cycle when literally everything else is going and yours is not moving. But I still think that, technically speaking, if we take a look at this chart, as I've always been doing myself, right, not even considering what the developments of the projects are. I don't know if you've noticed, you probably never hear me saying that, you know what, it's going to be the next revolutionary thing or something like that. I don't understand all that stuff, right? And I really don't care if it's a scam project or not. You know why? Because what other many scam projects are there? What other silly projects are out there? You hear things like, you know, Pepe. You hear things like Bong. You hear things like Grok. I mean, what's that all about? What kind of utility do they give to anybody, right? Nothing really, but they are the best performers. They even outperform Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP. I mean, every other utility coin that you want to talk about, they are being outperformed by those things, which basically, I mean, we know at some point they're going to be crashing 99%. So really, what difference does it make if you're going to be invested in that? At some point it crashes 99%, just like what the JASMY price that is done. Well, we can even say that both of them were scams at the end of the day, right? So we even have had projects that have been successful. I'll give you the example of Terra Luna. It was ripping in the last bull cycle. Are you telling me that people didn't make money off Terra Luna? They did. right? It crashed at some point. It is what it is. FTX is another example. Outright scam, outperforming everything. So in this market, please realize your mission, right? What really do you want to get in this market? Are you for the fundamentals? Are you not for the fundamentals? Are you here for the money? Because if you're here for the money, don't pay much attention to the noise, right? Understand the charts and understand that, look, these charts, technically speaking, are still very much bullish. But take a look at this. This is JASMY, for example. Again, this cup and handle formation. I know that you're tired of hearing this thing, right? Yeah, things take time. Who would have imagined that this whole structure here for JASMY was going to take 1,120 days to just keep panning out as it is doing right now? Nobody, right? But it actually happened like that. So sometimes these things are said and people will be like, you know what, this guy is an MF. He keeps saying the same thing over and over and over. Of course, I'm going to keep saying the same thing over and over because my point of view hasn't changed, right? I've grown, obviously. I'm now a better guy, different guy, but still ideas are going to be there. And I still expect the JASMY price to really do well. So let me show you once again that even at this point, immediate short term, the JASMY price is not all that bad because we are not breaking anything that is fundamental if you are somebody who understands charts, of course. For example, take a look at this here. We are breaking this trend line, right? We're just back testing it right now. Nothing too crazy. Any moment from now, we could see the JASMY price continue to push towards the upside. All right, let's say that the JASMY price breaks down here. Look at this whole support level that it can be supported at, right around 1.6 cents. I don't think it is going to go below that, right? It has another push towards the upside right there from there. All right, somebody's going to come and say, you know what, it's gonna break this support level here, right? Okay, if you're saying that, well, say it whilst we have broken that support level, not before we have broken, because nothing is definitive until it's definitive here, at least in technical analysis, the way I understand charts, right? So maybe in that scenario, we're waiting for something like this here, right? Maybe a back test, and then from there, you can short the JASMY price at. Now, even if they say JASMY is a scam, right? Let's say it gets delisted on an exchange like that, I'm going to still make money on the JASMY price because that's going to be one of the easiest trades that I can ever take, right? Open a short position, right? Open a 50x leverage or something like that and still make my 20x with the JASMY price falling towards the downside. So what I'm trying to get to here is that it's all fear, narratives, and a whole bunch of things, at least in my own paradigm, right? I don't know how you're feeling. I don't know how you're making your own decisions. And I'm not telling anybody to follow what I'm doing. But for me personally, this has been a journey of more than 3 years. Another thing that a lot of people try to bring into the argument is that JASMY has crashed 99%. Yeah, it crashed 99%. You know why? Because at the top right there, there was like a very, very small fraction of something that was, you know, in circulation at that point, and they had aggressive unlocks. Yeah, my question is, like, if you're investing in JASMY, I mean, didn't you take a look at this and try to see where are the unlocks going to be, where the dilution's going to be? Well, it was your responsibility to do that, right? I don't want to blame anybody for anything, but this is the reality with the JASMY price. But I'm sorry, I'm sounding like I'm trying to coach anybody at this point, but I'm just speaking my mind, and, you know, people can take it or they, you know, can laugh at me when JASMY has fallen and it's now at zero. Yeah, feel free to do that, right? I'm okay with that too, right? Sometimes we make good decisions, sometimes we make wrong decisions, and it is what it is in life, right? I want to kindly ask you to help me spread this video just by delicately tapping the like button. It really helps the YouTube algorithm, and people looking for JASMY content will now be able to find this video much more easily. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, because we have been talking about the JASMY price for 3 years at this point, and I think we are even, I mean, the best days are yet to come, right? You keep asking me about my price targets, still relative to this Cardano structure that we were seeing there. We are targeting something like the 1.618 Fibonacci extension level, and that for JASMY, if we go ahead and grab the 2 from the very top of the structure right there to the bottom, the 1.618 is right around something like 54 cents. Yeah, that's like my maximum price target that I think the JASMY price can do from now, and I think it's gonna be a fantastic. But am I saying that everybody should be taking profits only when we get to 54 cents? Definitely not. Some people got into JASMY like at the very bottom. By the time you get to like 54 cents, man, you're in hundreds and hundreds of multiples. Right? Some people got in maybe at 4.5 cents. Still, that's a good price target. Some people want to exit the market at 20 cents, for example, some at 30 cents, some at 50, some at 8 cents even. So do what you gotta do. Also remember that, yeah, we are all JASMY holders at the end of the day, right? But we are also competitors. If I'm gonna sell earlier before you do, probably you're gonna be my exit liquidity. That's also the harsh reality of this market, right? Please stay vigilant and understand how the markets are working time and again. Yeah, people will say that JASMY is manipulated, this and that. Which the market is not manipulated, right? The gold market is manipulated. Bitcoin is manipulated. Like, that's the reality of markets. It's all manipulation, left, right, and center. But, yeah, for some people, it may not be as clear as that. They just think, it's a scam, it's this and that. You know what? I just run my mouth too much. I don't want to sound like a crazy bitch. Let me show you this event from Bluffin. They are running a campaign, and then if you go ahead and deposit a certain amount or something like that, you're getting a 10% cashback or something like that. I think it's a fantastic concept altogether, and it's going to be for the next 10 days or something like that, right? And by the way, it's only for the first 100 users. So, I mean, you have to take opportunity before everybody takes it, right? So the links, again, are going to be in the description. Feel free to check that. If you don't like Bluffin too much, you can check BingX. They also have got a new user limited time event campaign in which you can claim up to $5,450, and on top of that, 300 ton token. This event will last like 8 days from now. So again, I think you should grab that opportunity whilst it's still there. The links will be down there in the description box. Thank you so much for watching. If you could, please like the video, share the video with your friends and family. Just remember, none of what I say is financial advice, and you shouldn't be buying or selling anything because of anything I say, alright? And with that being said, take care. Bye-bye.